I forgot to charge the camera. Go me. But yeah, Gondain, and welcome to the Project Pal. My name is Gunhildur. I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast vlog. Still don't know what I'm supposed to be calling these. Anyway, chatty type of thing with interruptions. Called the Project Pal because I have projects, they're my pals. I talk mainly about yarn, about knitting, crocheting, anything fiber related that drops into between my two brain shells from time to time. I also talk quite a bit about the weather because I am an Icelander and we talk about the weather a lot. Has actually been very interesting for the past week. It's literally been hot and cold, windy. It's either been really windy, like yesterday. Absolute wind. I was thinking about shaping up a little bit and actually go out for a walk on the weekends because I typically don't, not in the winter time, but it was so windy. And it's also been really covered in ice, so it's been slippery. Yes, it's been really slippery, but I always wear these very, very good spikes on my walking shoes. So I've been absolutely secure outside on the ice. I have not been nearly as safe when I go to the coffee shop. I have not had a fall for years. Not since I got those that protection, not since I started wearing those proper spikes. So last Thursday on knit night, when I went to the coffee shop because the owner is back, so everything is getting back to its cozy regular schedule, I noticed straight away that the floor and my spikes did not make a good match. I felt straight away that when I stepped on the floor itself, there was no grip. So I had been making sure to only walk on the runners. And then because I could, I knew that I know how I am, so I took my shoes off. If I needed to go up to the counter and order something or go to the bathroom, I simply just wasn't wearing my shoes except for when I was sitting down. Right up to the point when we are leaving, so of course I had to put my shoes back on. And as I'm saying goodbye to those who are still there, next thing I know, I'm going down. I was fine. Absolutely fine. Honestly, the first thing I did was I rolled over to my back and started laughing because I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I always walk. I am constantly walking, back to when I go to work or anywhere, I am walking. Unless someone picks me up. Otherwise, I am walking. I have not had a tumble on the ice, and the ice has been horrendous. But I take a tumble inside in the coffee shop. But yeah, of course, I'm very, very aware that I am, turning 40 this year, November this year, so I'm not a 12-year-old anymore. But yeah, I just have been checking to make sure that my mobility is 100%. It is. I was a little sore on Friday. That's all. No bruising even, and I'm everything considered, because usually at work I barely bump into things and I get a bruise. I take a tumble and I don't even get a bruise. And I think mainly the main reason why I didn't break anything. I want to thank the old man who 30 years ago was teaching us kids at the school in my little hometown. We were taught how to do the traditional Icelandic wrestling, which is a farmer's wrestle. It has a whole history. But the first thing that old man taught us was how to fall. And I swear that teaching has saved my bones my entire life since. Right, but the camera, I forgot to charge it, so probably try and not talk too late. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday it was sunny, it was windy, cold as well. It's been a little below freezing. Like yesterday, I mean, it's like -4, -5. I think it's around the same. But when I pulled the curtains this morning, everything had turned white again. Like, all the snow left. Was it on? Was it Monday or Thursday? No, Tuesday. The weather has been interesting. It's been like sunny, windy, hot, cold. We've had everything white, and then no snow, and now there's snow ever again. So it's like that season. It's that time of year that when you're just like interesting. Anything else I want to update you on before I talk about the knitting and crocheting? Excuse me. Grindavík. There is going to be another eruption. Obviously, we don't know when exactly, but it's definitely going to be happening. So that's a reality, and like I said before, I will do my best to either put a little video out when something happens, or put it on social thing magic. I really don't know what it's called in English because my YouTube is in Icelandic and I'm like, what do I call it again? But like the channel chat thing magic. Yeah, community. It's not anyway. So yeah, when something happens, because I can't say if something happens, it's going to happen. But yeah, I did say that I was going to do my best to keep you updated, so I will do my best. But yeah, as for the main purpose of this channel, I'm gonna show you the little bit that I've managed to do just with the blanket. And yeah, it's getting along. Maybe, I mean, I'm definitely more than halfway with the amount of yarn that I have. So it's gonna be a small, cozy, like lapghan. Just like kjöltuteppi. Yeah, cute little thing. Still really in love with this pattern. It's so easy. I love it. I love patterns that are just, you don't need to think. You don't need to think. I love those. So I'm like this color, the dark green. I mean, it's maybe like one more round of that at least. So that would mean, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Like I've been trying to get out of my mouth. I'm really not sure how much work there's still left. It's not that much. So I am needing to seriously try and make up my mind what's the next project. I want to bring with me, because there are so many, but it needs to be something that I don't need to think too much about, because if I need to think too much, then I cannot just sit and chat with everyone, and that's kind of the purpose of knit nights, like to be able to like sit and have something nice to eat, something to drink, and just excuse me, yeah, I not need to think too much, because my two little brain cells are going into talking and having conversation. But the kind of the drawback with meeting a group of others who have the same hobby is that way too often someone starts talking about something and I want to go to that thing. So I've got one of my books by Lena Holm Samsø. We've got it in Icelandic, thankfully. And I still cannot remember if she is Danish or Norwegian. But she is extremely popular. Her work is, well, popular. Her patterns are, like, I don't want to say that they're simple, because they're not really. I mean, not all of them. I mean, they're multi-layered. There's like fairly simple things, and then there's others that isn't in this book. I mean, I've still got poof. So this pattern, I have this really lovely lost the label somewhere, but I've got this lovely like mohair that I've decided way back that I'm gonna make poof with that, and it's gonna be so nice. It's gonna be like this, yeah, nice little garment to like wear with a skirt over a dress. It's gonna be pretty. But the thing is that right, so one of the ladies who was attending last Thursday was talking about making like leftover like jumpers or sweaters, and apparently this was something that was really popular back in the day, and I'm not really sure if back in the day means before or after I was born, because most of the ladies attending are old enough to be my grandmothers. I am born in 84. Most of them are like, I mean, most of them are old enough to be at the very least my mothers. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but they start talking about how back in the day at some point it was very popular to make a very certain type of sweater when you were using up leftovers. And apparently Lena Holm has a pattern, one specific one that everyone agreed on was pretty much the same thing, and it would be absolutely wonderful to use up leftovers. And I'm looking at the picture that the lady had on her phone, and I'm like, that's a very familiar looking picture. I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere. I think she found it on Ravelry. I need to check that out. Or verify rather, because as it turns out, I do have the book that this pattern is in the same book. It is this one. And I find it really interesting that, well, not only am I such an avid collector of books that I already have the pattern, and I already started thinking, oh, I could use that yarn or this yarn, and I'm literally looking at yarn and I might use it, and I'm like, I need to finish the projects that I already have filling my baskets because I need to finish them so that I have room in my basket so I can fill them with new projects. So, but yeah, I really want to make that. Now I really want to make that sweater as well because it's like, it looks really cozy and nice, and also like I think she originally used like silk mohair, and yeah, fine mohair, which I think most of these her patterns are like with mohair and silk mohair, really nice yarn like that. Squash, yeah, and alpaca. But most patterns you don't really need to follow them like to the letter. A good pattern is more of a guideline. At least that's how I've been taught how to use patterns. Like when you're starting out, you follow the pattern, and then when you get a little bit more experienced, you can make little changes. And I mean, if you've been watching this channel for a good while, you will know that I have a ridiculous collection of yarn, which is why I don't really buy. I try not to buy a lot of yarn anymore because I need to use up the yarn that I have before I can justify splurging on more. Which is why I don't really go onto ice yarns anymore, because the temptation is just too much for me. I need to use up the yarn that I have, because that was kind of the point of getting the yarn. But yeah, that is pretty much where I'm at right now. I am so close to finishing the blanket. And I'm thinking if I should try and aim at finishing it before next midnight and bring something else with me. But then I would need to figure out what that else is going to be. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that is definitely enough from me this weekend. My battery is almost finished, so that's the thing. But yeah, thank you very much for following me this weekend. I will hopefully see you again next weekend. Sooner if the volcanic system decides to pop up and say hello. But yeah, otherwise, hopefully see you again next weekend, and hopefully take care. And I hope life is as good to you as it possibly can be, and hopefully better. Okay? So until next time, take care. Bless, bless.